welcome back to another video. As always, I am your host, Sophia Foyer. Now today, we are going to be covering UFC 321, Aspinall vs. Gane, and making predictions. Make sure to put your predictions in the comments below. And as always, if you are not subscribed and following all social media for combat talk, well, go follow it. And do me a favor and hit the notification bell so you never ever miss another video. But without further ado, let's get into our predictions for UFC 321 Aspinall vs. Gane. Starting off, we have Nasrat versus Quillan Sakilid at lightweight. Nasrat is a striker and a counter fighter. He tends to cut the angle with his footwork. He feints the jab, uses hooks, body kicks, and his stiff jab. Meanwhile, Quillan is an MMA-based fighter. He also has a stiff jab, and he tends to use to create damage with it. He uses the body shot head kick combo, likes to use the double leg takedown, and willing to take a lot of damage just to land that knockout shot. However, my pick for this fight is going to be Quillan, all because he has more of an advantage with being able to get to the ground anytime and being able to just land and take some damage and land that heavy shot. So Nasrat needs to be careful not to leave himself open during this fight. But next up, we have Jacqueline Moriam versus Mizuki at strawweight. Jacqueline is a jiu-jitsu based fighter and a counter fighter as well. She tends to use the double leg takedown, low leg kicks, and blitz combos. However, Mizuki is a jiu-jitsu and counter fighter as well. Likes to feint the jab, good leg kicks, looking to time everything in straight punches. With this fight, Jacqueline is more of a threat than Mizuki. Mizuki is not doing anything in this fight that Jacqueline hasn't faced already. But before we just give hope up, Jacqueline does not need to get overconfident, lose her control, and drop her guard. Because the moment she does that, it will be game over, and Mizuki will capitalize on it and land. So next up, we have Azat Makusum versus Mitch Raposo at flyweight. Azat is a striker-based fighter, uses the double leg takedown, uses body shots in the clinch, body kicks, and blitz combos. Mitch is an MMA and counter fighter. He uses the leg kicks, overhand rights, and good head movement, and as always, the double leg takedown. I do have to say, I believe Mitch has improved a lot over the last couple years, so hopefully he proves all of us right and gets the win. Now, we are going to move on to the main card. I know, there are more fights on the prelims. However, the main card you guys need to really pay attention to. These fights are more exciting because this is where the power is. So the first fight on the main card, we have Alexander Rakic versus Osman Mirzakhanov at light heavyweight. Alexander is a striker and a counter fighter. He tends to throw a jab, cross, head kick combo a lot. He feints the kick, has good takedown defense, has an amazing sacrifice throw takedown. However, Osman is a striker-based fighter who uses blitz combos, counter fighter, looking to capitalize on his openings. And Sorman, and my pick for this fight is going to be Osman because of his style of fighting and how much he is willing to do to not give up and prove his spot in the division. Now, we just gotta see if he shows or if he no-shows in this fight. Next up, we have Alexander Volkov versus Gelatin Almeida at heavyweight. To be honest, I'm just gonna give you a prediction. Right now, Gelatin, he is the one you need to be watching. His power, his speed, his charisma is a force to be reckoned with. So make sure you are watching. However, we got possibly one of the most interesting, explosive, and entertaining fights of the card. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista at bantamweight. The amount of striking that is underway is insane. It's going to be fireworks, so make sure you tune in. But I'm picking Mario. That man has something about him where you just look at him and say, yes, that is a fighter. Yes, that is a natural born killer. But our co-main event, Vera versus Mackenzie Dern, number 2, for the strawweight title, people. These two both jiu-jitsu background. It's a matter of how much damage they can take and how quick they can move in and out of the pocket. But I'm going with my girl Mackenzie. Sorry, she's the future of the strawweight division. And last up, our main event of the evening, people, Gane versus Aspinall at heavyweight. Hands down, Aspinall. He has too much to offer, and Gane has nothing. He's not as technical, he's not as cage smart. So Aspinall, so with that being said, pick Aspinall. Pick Aspinall. However, that was my predictions for today. I know it was short, but it was an exciting card. Got some new exciting announcements for you guys coming up. So make sure you're following all the social media accounts in the bio. And as always, I'm your host, Sophia Foyer, and I will see you guys next week. So you guys better stay tuned because we got more to cover and more people to interview. And stay tuned because we might be having another stream sometime soon. I will see you guys. Bye, guys.